Let's start. Okay, hello, good afternoon everybody. Thank you for attending this session, which is titled Accelerate AI Journey. So this is the agenda that we have prepared for today. It's split it in three parts. We are going to make first an overview of Vertex AI platform. I will talk about that part. The second part will be covered by one of my colleagues here from Google, Customer Engagement Suite, and the third part by another speaker, Scaling GenAI Use Cases. They will introduce themselves later on in their respective sessions. So let's start with the first one, which is the overview of Vertex AI platform. Let me introduce myself first of all. My name is Rafael Sanchez. I work in Google. I am the head of the GenAI-ML South Practice team. I'm physically based in Madrid, but I mean my team is basically covering all the region, including Middle East and other countries. So the focus of my part of this session is going to be around the Vertex AI platform, which is basically the AI platform provided by Google for enterprises. So let's start. I am in IT for almost 30 years, working for more than 30 years, and if there is something that distinguishes what is happening today in AI, is the speed of the innovation which is happening on AI. The industry is moving at a rate which is pretty big, and I think that all of you have experienced that. In Google Cloud, for example, in GCP, we have shipped 300% more services in 2023 than 2022, and only in the first 6 months we have shipped as many services as all the previous years. Okay, so I mean we are moving at a speed, at a velocity which is actually impressive, and the innovations are coming not every month or every 3 months or every 6 months, are coming even weekly. Okay, so in the case of Google, for example. We announced our models with 1 million token window, then we increased it to 2 million token window, and still our model could theoretically support until million. Okay, so we also announced, for example, innovations around multimodality, the support of text, audio, and video, and this happens in matter of months. Okay, so not even years, like happen in other industry. Okay. So we have seen also how the speed of the models have doubled, and how the cost has decreased by a lot. Okay, I mean even decreasing the cost by 10x for some of the models. Okay, so some of my customers are asking me, Rafa, what's the roadmap in 2 years? Okay, so what are you going to do in 2 years? And I told them, I don't know. I mean, the AI is evolving at a speed which is basically impossible. Okay, to find out what is going to happen in AI in the next 2 years. Okay, so even the roadmap in the shorter term is a kind of unpredictable. Okay, so that's and that reflects how fast the industry is moving. By the way, this month will make 1 year, okay, 12 months since we announced Gemini. Gemini is our state-of-the-art model that was released in December 2023, actually in the 6th of December of 2023, and it's going to be 1 year now that we announced our first model, okay. So everything has happened, okay, since the last years and since the last year with Gemini, and also with other Google models like Gemma. So if you're an enterprise, you need to cope, you need to be ready, okay, you need to be adapted to this speed of innovation. And what you need is not a model, you need a platform, okay? So you need a platform that is able to cope with all of these innovations. And in the case of Google Cloud, we offer a platform that is not only ready for AI, it's also ready for data. Data is a very important part when you are working in an AI project, when you are working in an AI application. Okay, so you need a strong data platform. Okay, not only a strong AI platform, also a strong data platform. And products, for example, like BigQuery or Google Cloud Storage, help a lot in order to build this unified approach. Okay, this unified platform. So we have a platform in Google that is not only for generative AI, it's also for traditional predictive AI, and it's also for the upcoming agentic needs that any company is going to have. Okay, so we now start start talking, you see a lot of people talking about agents, okay? AI agent. This is the next iteration of the generative AI. So you also need the platform to be prepared for that. And the answer that Google Cloud is providing to companies is Google Cloud, okay? Google Cloud not only on the data part but also on the AI part. And you need governance, and you need a strong infrastructure in order to scale. This is what basically Google Cloud provides. So now I'm going to focus more on the AI part, on the platform, on the part of the platform which provides AI capabilities in Google Cloud, and this is called Vertex AI. So Vertex AI is the unified platform for Google on AI in order to develop your predictive, generative, and agentic application. So let me talk about Vertex AI. Vertex AI basically is an end-to-end platform that is composed of three major blocks. The first block is Agent Builder, which is our platform to build agents. Model Builder, which is the platform to build end-to-end models and implements also MLOps and GenAI-Ops capabilities. And you have also Model Garden. Model Garden is basically the area where you can access to models, to state-of-the-art models, and use it from day one. Let me start with Model Garden first. Model Garden. So Model Garden is basically a hub of models where enterprises can access to it in a secure and protected way. So these are not models that everybody uploads, that for example happen in Hugging Face. So this is a list of curated models where enterprises can access and can use them. In Model Garden, you find all kinds of models, but I would highlight two models that we have in Model Garden, which are special interest, which are Gemini and Gemma. So Gemini is our state-of-the-art model. It's a closed model by Google that, as I mentioned before, was released 1 year ago. The current version of Gemini is the one that I showed there, Gemini 1.5 Plus and Gemini 1.5 Pro. So basically the difference between them is the Pro version supports up to 2 million context window, and also it's GA now, and the 1.5 Plus it provides 1 million context window and is a little bit cheaper. Okay, it's actually cheaper than the Pro version. So both models are available now and are available for use. I would like to highlight that this Gemini model is not exactly the same that the model that you find in the consumer version. So if you go to gemini.google.com with your Gmail account, with your personal account, you will find Gemini and you can access to Gemini there. The Gemini model that you can see here is an enterprise version where you have controlled access and you have all kinds of governance capabilities for your application. Okay, so it's not exactly the same as the consumer version. And then another interesting model that you can access in Model Garden is Gemma. Gemma is our open model. It's a model that is basically you can download the weights and you can deploy it either in the cloud or even on premise if you wish. Okay. And you can in the future we will expand Model Garden with many other models. Okay. So we will probably, Google will upload models to Model Garden in order for you to use. And why not? You probably have seen here a model in Arabic that we have announced very recently, Fanar. It's actually the first. It's at the entrance of the venue. Okay, you can see Fanar. Fanar is a model which has been built in Arabic, and why not? Probably in the next months we can upload this model to Model Garden to be available to everybody. Okay, but apart from this model, you have many other models in Model Garden. Okay, so you can find Llama, you can find Cloud from Anthropic, you can find a lot of models over there that you can use. Other models that are also in Model Garden are these two new announcements, Veo and Imagen 3. Imagen 3 is an image generation model that we recently announced. So this model is for generation, is for edition, and is for customization. Okay, so you can edit your images and you can upload it there. And again, with safety and with controlled access. Okay, so these are models that are ready for enterprises. And for example, they also include watermarking. Okay, very interesting capability to detect is if an image has been generated with AI or not. And we also have in Model Garden a video generation model called Veo. Okay, so you can also use Veo, and again, this is a model which is targeted for enterprises, okay, with control access and all kind of controls and filters that you can use. Okay, so this is an image generation where you can prompt a text and you can generate a video, a short video, or even you can prompt an image and build a video, a short video based on that image. Okay, so that's Model Garden. So if you would like to access Model Garden can be accessed through, if you click console.cloud.google.com and you look for Model Garden, okay? Model Garden is part of Vertex AI, and here you can see all the models that are available in Model Garden, and you can use them. Okay, so as you can see here, there are a lot of models. We have more than 100 models in Model Garden, and you can access from here, and you can deploy them in Vertex AI. So let's go to the second major part of Vertex AI, which is Model Builder. Model Builder is our tool to build models and to basically implement all kind of governance and operational capabilities with your models. So with Model Garden, you can train a model. You can train a model from scratch or do fine-tuning, for example, as well. Okay, so using GPUs, our GPUs and TPUs, you can use that. And you can also implement augmentation. So augmentation basically means to enrich your model based on external data. And also with augmentation, you can, for example, ground your answers based on Google search. Okay, so that means that the answer that the model is going to provide you is going to be grounded based on the Google search factuals. Okay, so also this can be done through the Model Builder. The amount of options that we have to train or to tune the model is actually very big. Okay, so we can tune the model using supervised fine-tuning, reinforcement learning from human feedback, distillation. All kinds of capabilities are available in Model Builder with a very easy way to do it. Let me go a little bit more technical. Let me talk about some capabilities, some technical capabilities of Model Builder. For example, Model Builder implements a prompt optimizer. Okay, so you can optimize your prompt. So the prompt that you send to the system, it can optimize the prompt for you. You can do supervised fine-tuning, okay? So you can implement fine-tuning, for example, using LoRa, which is one standard mechanism to provide fine-tuning, and use this with Vertex AI, with all the GPUs. And also you can do distillation. Remember that distillation is a way to tune a model. From a bigger model, you generate a smaller model where you transfer all the knowledge to the smaller model, and also you can do this using distillation. So, more things that you can do with the Model Builder include, for example, train a model using TensorFlow, PyTorch, or any framework of your choice. Use also, for example, Ray on Vertex. Ray is a platform to make distribute tuning with LLM models, and also you can use Ray in order to scale, for example, your LLM workloads and to fine-tune a model. And very important, Model Builder also support MLOps and GenAI-Ops capabilities. Okay, so this is a hot topic in enterprises. Enterprises needs to put a model into production, needs to operationalize a model. Okay, so needs to provide governance to the model. So how do I know, for example, if a model is ready to be put in production? How do I control who can have access to the model, who can execute some inference? So all of this is provided by Vertex AI and all the product suites and all the services that are in the Model Builder. Okay, so we also support model monitoring, for example, to monitor the performance of your LLM models, and evaluation services. Evaluation services allows to measure if your model is doing good or not. Okay, so your LLM model is doing is providing good answers, bad answers, so you can actually automatize this through the evaluation service. Okay, so super important. If you pick a platform, super important that that platform supports MLOps and GenAI-Ops capabilities required to put an LLM model into production. More capabilities on the model builder includes the one that I show you here. I will highlight context caching. We were the first to introduce context caching in the market, and context caching basically allows you to save money when you are making queries to your LLMs. Context caching is about making cache on your prompt or your part of your prompt. Prompts are very repetitive. So if you are in an organization, I mean, people are making very frequently are reusing prompts when you are calling LLM models. Okay, so implementing a capability like this is super important to reduce costs. And in the case of Vertex AI, we provide context caching, and we can reduce the price up to 75% when you make queries to LLM models. Okay. We also provide the provision throughput as a way to guarantee the SLA and dynamic share quota in order also to improve to maximize the capacity utilization of your queries. Okay. And finally, not to mention that infrastructure is super important when you build a model. Accelerators are super important, and we provide a set of GPUs and TPUs also in the platform. We provide GPUs, not only the H100, also the ones that are coming by NVIDIA, and we provide TPUs. We are the only provider that have a specialized hardware in order to train your models. TPUs are very much used by Google. Actually, TPUs, we use the TPUs to train Gemini and Gemma. Okay, so our models are trained with TPUs internally, and we provide this also to customers in case you would like to train your models with TPUs. Okay. So model builder. How do you access the model builder? The model builder can be accessed also in Vertex AI, and here, for example, you can set, if you go to Vertex AI, you can see here many of the services which are part of the model builder. For example, the training. This is the service to basically to implement the training. Services to launch your model into production with prediction. We provide also, for example, the model registry. The model registry is a very important service when you talk about MLOps. Okay, because here you have all the models owned by your organization, and you decide which of those models can be put onto production or not. Okay, so you can control here, from here, which of the models are going to be put into production. And finally, the third major block of Vertex AI is the agent builder. This is our platform to build agents. Everyone is talking about AI agents today. I mean, many people think that they are the next step in the LLM world. And well, I mean, agent builder is something definitely that people are going to use during the next year, and it's important that your organization relies on a platform supporting agents. Okay, so we have a platform called Agent Builder in order to support agents, where you can build agents, and you can build agents grounded on your data. Okay, so you can upload your data, and you can create an agent which is grounded on your data. Okay, and implement, of course, all kinds of governance capability like the one requires to build the agents and also use the tools, okay, which typically the agents use. Part of the agent builder includes also a solution for searching. Okay, so you can use a solution to build a search engine for your data. And Google provides a managed solution to build that, and also the individual components in order to create your own Vertex AI search. Okay. And this, very important, this can be done grounding of your data. Okay, so we can connect with your data, and we can basically create a service, an agent, okay, which only use your data in order to build information, including capabilities like, for example, source citation, or to include the factuality. Okay. So where is the agent builder? So the agent builder, you can have access again from the console.cloud, google.com. Here, for example, is the list of agents that I have, and if I click on one of them, I can see how I can easily create an agent. Basically, I need to provide a name, and I need to provide some instructions, as well as the data source. And with that, I can, here for example, you create an agent, you define the goal of the agent, and here you can see here data store. Okay, so here is how you upload your data, okay, your own data, in order to create an agent based on your data. Okay, so here are the instructions that you need to set, and just with a single page like this, you can create an LLM agent grounded on your data. So to summarize, three major points in Vertex, okay, so the model garden, model builder, and the agent builder, with the objective of creating a single platform for generative AI, predictive AI, and agents, okay, which is basically what you need to for the future in order to work with generative AI. Having said that, I'm going to pass the word to my colleague Tiago to talk about the next part of the agenda.
Well, is the mic on? Yes, that's better. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today. I know it's not easy after lunch, but glad to see the full room. My name is Tiago. In Google, I look after a team of AI specialists across Europe, Middle East, and Africa. We work with our most strategic customers, primarily large companies, enterprises, of course, also governments and other different entities. We work a little bit with all portfolios, some pieces that Rafael described, and other ones that I'm going to cover, but also looking a little bit what's coming down 3-6 months based on customer feedback and what's happening in the market there. I know we have a very short session to pack everything, so we'll try to give also some time in the end, but if you have any questions after we finish, please just approach us. Here on the side, we are happy to talk to, so maybe some questions you might have, some use cases and so on. So just to complement a little bit what Raf is talking, if initially spoke about agents, I just want to pick on that. I'm going to talk about a subset of agents that are the conversational agents. Those conversational agents have been around for a while. I actually have a question. How many of you have or had at some point in time a chatbot in your public-facing websites or web app? Okay, that's 15%. Okay. How many of you still have a web chatbot in production these days? Okay, that's 5%. How many of you use any generative AI capabilities on those chatbots? Okay, keep reducing. Okay, that's giving me a good sense. Perfect. Thank you for doing the details. How many of you have a more technical background, just to finalize before I go to my section? Technical background? Okay, 50%. Business background? The other 50%? Okay, just making sure that we're all here. Okay, so as I was mentioning, one of our big focus on AI in general, on generative AI, is really how you can improve customer experience. And of course, customer experience means different things to different people, but it's for sure a top priority for a lot of business leaders, right? We always want to serve better our end customers, our employers, our consumers, our citizens. It really depends which part of the business or where you sit on your use cases. Also, there's a lot of business metrics that are really important when it comes to that, either being a chatbot, a voice bot, or many of other use cases that have been changing and evolving. I'm just showing you a few of those there that I believe that some of the AI capabilities, especially the generative AI, can help you to get there faster. But at the same side, there is a lot of expectations from the technical side that need to be met, right? And as much of this technology has been evolving, what we see with many of those customers is that maybe they tried to create a conversational agent, a chatbot or something different, that they might have abandoned. At the same time, some of these very cool capabilities, as the agent builder that Rafa just showed you, are very weak, but how can we adopt that to make sure that they are in production, they fit our needs, is also a big challenge. So I think that's what we see a lot in our customers, and I just want to give you a little bit our opinionated view how to go about that, and happy to chat offline in a bit more detail. So when it comes to customer engagements, as mentioned, that's not something new to Google Cloud. We actually have a platform to create some of those agents that has been there for many years. There's millions of active developers there. But as you all know, the generative AI wave started a year and a half ago, which of course enhances or empowers what we can do in our customer engagement capabilities there. I just want to highlight a few things that are key there to have a successful customer engagement or optimized one. First one is everyone talks about omni-channel. That's a big word for a lot of people and very hard to achieve. I think it goes beyond that. I think we should call it about omni-experiences because today your consumer might start on, I don't know, your website. Tomorrow this person might pick up his phone and expect it to message by WhatsApp. So it will connect to many channels, but it expects that the context is there, and that's why I think it's very important. Second one, I think, is also in terms of capabilities. With generative AI, we have a lot more power, and as Rafael highlighted, one of our capabilities for at least more than a year to be multimodal experiences, which means that we are able to understand and process images, text, but also video. I think it really opens how you can serve your customers better. If there is one thing that we know for a long time in this generative AI journey is that security and compliance are, of course, non-negotiable terms. That's why we have enterprise-grade platform. But also using generative AI capabilities requires us to think slightly different about how we control and manage that. Of course, everyone have come across the word hallucinations, and that's one of the things that we want to make sure that we can control. And related with hallucinations, I think it's very important that every time we give an answer to an end customer, end user, we need to be sure that, of course, it's nice that answer uses generative AI, but I need to understand where it comes from. That's why the grounding is so important. Without getting yet into a lot of the technical details, I just wanted to give you kind of a 360 view of the world, how Google Cloud can help you to improve or create different customer experience and engagement. We have, of course, on the top layer capability that I'm going to show you in a second about how you can create some of those conversational agents with many of these capabilities we talk about. Second thing that probably you should keep in mind is at some point in time, when you interact with an AI agent, you might need to hand over to a human most likely sitting in a call center. So that's something we've also been building for a while. We allow you to spin up contact center virtually from scratch. That allows you, of course, to have human agents picking up calls and answer their customers, but at the same time leveraging many of those AI capabilities. And behind the scenes, of course, using the AI is not something that I just I don't have. There's a lot of small pieces and components that need to be together, and that's something that we also have been building in our platform. Things like speech-to-text, text-to-speech, being able to do translation, those are, again, other components. On top of that, without getting too specific, when it gets more to the end-to-end process of how I interact with the customer until it finalizes either a transaction or any process that you want to achieve, there's a lot of third-party pieces or ecosystems that natively we need to be part of it or integrate with it. Probably the most common one is CRM. We also focus a lot on making sure that we are pretty neutral to that and allow you to either consume or integrate with those. So I'm going to start briefly to talk about the example I mentioned earlier, which is around how can I create a conversational experience with some of our capabilities and services out of there. Again, it's all about AI, but no matter how technical or business you are, it really should always be about the key business challenge you have and what's the impact you have in your business or KPI. Okay. I'll start with a simple one, conversational agents. It can be chat, it can be voice. Today, for simplicity, I'll show you something around chat, but that could be possible to achieve with voice. But as you can imagine, when you have an AI agent in front before you get to a human, that really allows you to, of course, optimize costs, reduce waiting time, and a lot of other capabilities. So on that side, we have been, as I said, doing a lot of things. I just want to recap briefly the basics and then show you an example with generative AI. The first one, as I said, is a 24/7 agent that has, of course, extremely efficient costs there, but it's always on. So your consumer, your end user can pick it up at any time of the day, and again, allows you to reduce by default a lot of calls that don't need to start with a old school, boring IVR maybe, or maybe a human agent that is, of course, more costly. So that would be the first part to be able to be self-service. Second one, again, we've been doing AI at very large scale as Google, not only Google Cloud for a long time, and we are very confident in our multi-language capabilities. The idea is that using some of those tools, and I'm going to show you in a second, we are very able to deploy it in more than 100 languages and be making sure that it works seamlessly at the point that the user might start speaking one language, as you can see there, and gets to a second example. So it's really built to support multi languages and some of the details of the nuances out there. The third one is, of course, when it comes to automating a little bit more those conversations, today with generative AI, we really expect that those agents are able to pick up things as the humans pick up, right? And that requires quite sophisticated capabilities to pick up what the user needs, and also being able to listen quite smoothly and making sure that we provide an answer, even if it's generated within the boundaries of what our brand or company wants to do. And last but not the least, I'm not going to be showing it to you today, but I think it's one of the key use cases we see, for example, with insurance companies and so on. As I mentioned, we have multimodality capabilities. So just think about a consumer or a user that needs to talk with you, but it might start on chats, might use voice, but at some point he or she needs to show you, I don't know, a damage in the car or something that is broken. You need to prove that. So you can very easily take a picture. The model, as GenAI was said before, is able to understand what is in the picture and really allows you to have a much better experience and interaction, but at the same time more information to your business process or to your agent that is going to consume that. So that's kind of the 4 pieces I want to highlight in conversation. Let me show you a very brief demo, because I think it's always important to see things working. So again, this is a very simple example. I'm going to show you a website that hopefully is familiar to many of you. That's, if we get the screen back, that's Oreo website. How many of you are based in Qatar? I'm just buying time to get the screen back. Okay, that's 50%. Okay, here you go. That's the public-facing website, Oreo, a telco company. Out of here, we also have a quite close partnership on different initiatives. So what I want to show you is a very simple example that we just went to a section of this website, in this case, a subsection which is the FAQ. So I'm showing you the wrong window. That's the right window. That's the right window. So in this FAQ, as you can see, you have a lot of different sections: postpaid, prepaid, home internet. And then, because I'm not based here, I was thinking, what is no June points? I don't know. Okay? So we created a very simple chatbot that I'm going to show you working in the suit that we are able to interact with. So if I start from here, copy my prompts to be easier. As I said, I didn't spend any time on websites. I'm not based here, so I'm curious what are new June points. Now you don't have to bury me, the Wi-Fi is bumpy to say at least, but there you go. And now what you see here is the answer that this, again, chatbot built on Dialog, which I'm going to show you in a second, created. But created in the sense as generated. Why? Because it has the content that is in this public website indexed, is able to listen to read, and is able to generate answers. As you can see, it says it's a reward program where you earn points and redeem them for awards. Okay. My next question is, of course, is there a cost related with that? Okay. Give it a time because the Wi-Fi is slightly bumpy, but I'm just asking, does it have a cost? Okay. Enrolling in the job is free, you can earn points for redeem awards. But more importantly, it's not just giving me an answer, it's actually providing me a link. And that link, again, if the Wi-Fi stays with us, takes me to the section of the website where I found this information. Okay? So as you can see, I have a chatbot that was built in minutes. Now, I want to show you behind the wheels of this thing. What is here is the platform to build it, which is called Dialog, conversational agents, as we actually just renamed it quite recently for simplicity. What is here is not the chatbot or the regular agent that I'm doing. This is how it was until generative AI. Okay, very large flow, quite complicated, where you need to be very prescriptive on every single possible intent, and from each intent, where it goes to that. The good news, of course, is low code or no code. So business-wise, it's very easy to develop those flows. But as you can see, adding there is a lot of complexity. In our experience, before some of generative AI capabilities, you'll need probably 3-6 months to create a complex bot flow to get there into production. Those things are a lot more simplified these days. So using the same experience, as I mentioned, with millions of active developers using solution production, you can actually create a chatbot that is generative. And that's what you see here, just one box, right? Start page, if the intent is not matched, I actually connect with data store. Data store is what Rafael mentioned before. And with that, I start providing answers. Just to go back to the data store, which Rafael previously mentioned, what I see here is I went to a specific website, the one I showed you that is public. I looked how much information is out of there. In this case, there were 37 documents, and I can index that. So now when I ask a question, of course, it's based on that content. Again, that's something I created taking just a few minutes. It will get a lot more complex. But my message here is much faster to create a chatbot, of course, with generative AI capabilities and a voice box. But at the same time, there is some pieces that still need to be extremely predictive. You cannot just generate an answer, right? So you can combine the best of both worlds within the same platform. Just to finalize my brief demo, if I go just to the agent settings of this agent that I showed you, we get into the generative AI, that's my agent. Okay, and there you go. We can get some level of control. Again, it's a fully managed service that will generate things for you, but again, your brain might want to have some control on it. So the first thing you can say is you can ban some specific words. Good example of that, your competitor names. Make sure that despite the level of creativity that the model uses, it will never mention a competitive name. Again, all things that we put a lot of effort there, not just in every AI solution as the Gemini models that we discussed before, is making sure that we have safety filters, making sure that some interactions, some words are never possible to create because it might be just disrespectful, it might be harmful. So we have by default a lot of filters there, but of course you have some level of control that you can adjust depending on your business use case. And the last piece I think is quite important is we actually build all these solutions, even though they are more high level and business focused as the one I'm describing here, but all of those behind the hoods, they are building on top of our latest models such as Gemini. As you can see, you can say which version of there, and you can preserve that, and you can give it a few more things. So that was a very brief demo of a conversational agent created from scratch using a public-facing website with some generative basis. Now, I just want to finalize, because I have a few minutes left, with the second part of that. What's beyond just a chatbot or voice bot? As I mentioned, there's a lot of cost optimizations and impacts when it goes to the full end-to-end, which typically ends up either with interacting with the business process as making a transaction, or interacting with a human just because that virtual agent doesn't allow you to get the final outcome. That's of course where it gets in play the contact center, and I just want to show you some of the capabilities where we're infusing a lot of AI capabilities, mostly based on generative AI. First one, which I think is core to almost every single business where there is of course customer experience part of that, is the interactions with those end customers. They can be a chat conversation as the one I showed you, or they can be a phone call. If someone calls your public number to ask for something, those calls typically are recorded, and over time I might be able to get some insights out of that. So a very good way to do that is, while I go to all my 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, depends on your business, of chats or calls, most likely you have more calls than chats, and I get some insights out of that. That's a good example for it is I can summarize that and see what were the key topics where people were calling me. The second one is making sure that you can have these capabilities to increase the customer service by making sure that it's cross-channel. Again, people will contact you through different channels. When you want to have a consolidated view, you'll need to be able to do summarization across different channels. Why? Because when you endeavor to your human agent, it needs to have this kind of insight, what kind of customer. A good example is that is, if this customer has called, I don't know, 5 times in the last few years for complaining about something, I already know that's the pattern of that end user. Or if by maybe my churn model knows that there's a likely probability to lose a customer, why don't I for my agent this is a high-risk customer and try to keep them happy. The last piece I just wanted to show you is more recently is how we can make human agents even better and more productive using AI. A good example of that is something we call coaching those agents with AI, and also how do we get better training to those agents with AI. I'm going to show you a very short video because it will be very complex to take a phone call, have an agent in your side and show you live. So let me just go to that demo, hopefully the audio will be fine.
Hi. In this video, we'll show how large language models give you comprehensive data to improve your agent performance, provide automated training modules, and identify actionable insights that matter to your members. Supervisor Joe looks at the performance dashboard for her agents. She sees a score for each agent that's based on every single interaction they have with a member. Thanks to LLM-powered automated conversation analysis, Jill can see that in the past week, Robert resolved 80% of the members' issues. Pradeep's customer empathy scores increased by 20%, and Layla was HIPAA compliant with 100% of her interactions. She also sees that Katie scores high in calls about prenatal care. A call comes in through the prenatal care queue from a member who wasn't happy with her last call. Katie, who we know is great at prenatal questions, is automatically assigned to this call. Katie helps the member review her prenatal visit bill. Thanks to the auto summary, Katie can focus on listening to the member and resolving her complicated issue. Being able to help her member, Katie feels satisfied with her job. Supervisor Jill sees that Amy, another agent, has been struggling with the prescription plan topic. Jill clicks on the training icon in the agent performance dashboard, and it automatically sends a personalized training plan to Amy. The training plan includes segments of her previous conversations with specific suggestions on where she could have improved. As part of the training plan, Amy practices with an LLM-powered bot that generates a realistic conversation, and she becomes better prepared to handle prescription plan issues. As Jill wraps up her day, she notices a 40% uptick in the call volume and average handle time for Medicare Advantage conversations. With auto summaries of all conversations tagged Medicare Advantage, she realizes a new benefit that was added to the plan, creating confusion for members and agents. She creates an alert to her agents to brief them on the new benefit. She also sends a note to the marketing team to bolster the Medicare Advantage FAQ website. The next day, the number of calls and average handle time for Medicare Advantage drops. Gone are the days where you only have insights into 1% of all contact center conversations. Now, you can have data on each and every one of your agents' interactions with members.
Hopefully they'll give you spark some ideas of how AI can be applied to a lot more use cases within your contact center, your agents, and your interactions, even in real time, as it was the case there that I was giving summarization what is described and making recommendations what to do next. Just to finalize, to get to work with my colleague, we get a lot of questions. Of course, GenAI is very new. Is it real in terms of the business impact? Of course, the technology is there, as you've seen, and we keep investing and evolving it very fast. Those are just some very recent statistics we published out of there. We see the companies that are using their some of those chat and voice solutions with GenAI, how that is really growing, but also more importantly, how is that having tangible ROI on their business use cases. We see some cases up to 50% containment reduction on the call to the agent, or up to 30-35% on agent productivity, which is of course massive gains that we observe in some more mature customers and scenarios. Just to recap, in Google Cloud we have a very large choice of building voice and conversational agents. I showed you direct flow. I mentioned that you can have your contact center spin up in minutes. You have other capabilities as getting insights from your transcriptions that I didn't go into detail. I showed you some of the capabilities to show coaching agents. I think the key message there is a lot of those things are powered with the most latest capabilities of generative AI from our models and so on, but you are the one who can choose where to start. So every of those components or models are independent. You can just start where it makes sense and then over time adopt what can help you to get there and get better customer experience. With that, I would like to hand over to Beslan.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'd like to start with the introduction. My name is Beslan. I've been, most of my career, I've been working in software development, and most of it I've been producing with the teams, the products that have been making an actual impact for our day-to-day life. For the last 6 years, I've worked in Deloitte Middle East. and I'm currently one of the leads in our Deloitte AI Institute in development of GenAI products. So, for the AI have been around for a lot of years now and rapidly evolving for the next few, which has now resulted to what we call GenAI. And a few years back, it was a topic of discussion of data scientists and technical people. Today, GenAI is an actual collaborator to everyone's day-to-day work through tools like Gemini, Bard before it, generating images, having day-to-day conversations with the agents. So today we're going to talk about scaling GenAI, challenges of scaling GenAI, because as my colleagues from Google showed before, you can see that the groundwork is already there. The platforms that encompassing large infrastructure, scalable infrastructure, alongside with products, alongside with the large language models, with the workflows are already available. So what is the current challenge and where we are today in terms of scaling GenAI? So I'll go next. So in Deloitte AI Institute, we're doing a lot of research in the space of AI, as well as releasing thought leadership papers on this. And one of the researches that recently been conducted alongside of more than 2,000 organizations is to understand what is the percentage of actual transformative GenAI solutions that they launch within their organizations. So as you can see here, majority of respondents highlighted that it's below 30% of POCs or pilots that actually become products. And this we're talking about worldwide research. I believe if you switch back to Middle East from the personal experience and the view of our clients across different industries, I believe the percentage will be lower than that. It will be around 10% of the actually productionalized use cases. So why is this happening, and what is the main pillars and main enabling factors to scale GenAI? Okay. So GenAI is not just a technology play, it's a capability play as well. It's as any technology existed during the lifespan of the humanity, GenAI is a tool that needs to be applied in the right way within organization. So in order to do that, there is important to consider a proper strategy in place that encompasses high impact use case portfolio and a roadmap, clear roadmap with value realization understanding for a short-term, long-term, mid-term. The processes, of course, robust governance as well as the data governance is the essential part of any AI implementation, and definitely GenAI operating model that supports the changes that GenAI brings to day-to-day life of each employee, whether you enhancing your finance department's capabilities or HR or executive like CEO office, it's also very important. And of course, risk management. It's important to ensure AI used ethically. It's important to ensure certain restrictions are in place, as well as it's adhering to local laws, regulations, and data residency requirements. Important while implementing GenAI is also to upskill talent and move towards from the old perspective to a newer perspective of how the GenAI enhances your day-to-day life, upskilling the capabilities of employees who will be using that, transform the roles potentially even augmented by GenAI. And of course, developing and acquiring potentially talent. All these strategies needs to be in place. And of course, data and technology, the cornerstone of this transformation. So proper infrastructure, proper tools, proper technologies, alliance partners, technology partners. It's very important to have, as well as the data governance, data management, overall data platform, has been highlighted by my colleagues in the beginning that it's not just a play of you have large language model on top, it's also end-to-end data platform and data management processes in place. So what we do in Deloitte and scaling GenAI. So Deloitte AI Institute for the last 2 years we've developed multiple solutions both internally and externally to serve Deloitte employees and our clients. And one of these I'll be presenting today, I'm talking about today, which is Genie. What is Genie? GenAI, it's a GenAI-powered solution that have been developed for our tax department to streamline and optimize the business operations of our tax team. It has more than 1,500 intelligent workflows to adapt for business requirements of our employees on the day-to-day basis, on producing specific content, analyzing specific content, summarizing it, reviewing it, to support all of these processes. And this, of course, created with advanced retrieval augmented generation architecture and leveraging large language models. So, key features, I think, is as a workflow design, and that is tailored to our tax department, and more important that it's developed alongside with them and with upskilling their capabilities in prompt engineering and enabling them to get the maximum output of Genie. Genie have multiple options for model selection. It has the tuned version, which is basically augmented by advanced retrieval augmented generation and have access to all the content that have been produced by our internal teams, and leveraging all this content, including the laws, including contractual documents, etc., to enable our team to produce better outcomes faster. It's integrated with multiple models, so we're using multimodal approach in our architecture, including leveraging GenAI from Vertex, as well as using Hugging Face Gemma, smaller model, and multiple others. So we're basically working, depending on use case, we're using either proprietary big large language models or open source, let's say open smaller models that's available on Hugging Face. That's whole thing is built basically with the robust data governance. There is a whole approval process of populating the database of the Genie through UI of the application, and ability to update RAG in a live way. And currently it's more than 5,000 users within Middle Eastern team who's using this solution on a day-to-day basis. So what are the workflows basically? We have been talking about agents. I believe agents workflows is like a very similar description, let's say. It's industrialized profile, like focusing on specific business unit or specific business case, and like thing, which is a workflow. And it's also allowed access to your specific organizational data, therefore to understand your context better. And it's like intelligent agents that know how to tackle specific tasks on which you're instructed to do with. So as an example, we're doing is like creating training materials for the efficient email. So you have a task that you have from the leadership that you need to conduct the learning on organizational level for phishing emails. Therefore, there is a workflow where you have a specific structure of the document you need to adhere to on the training material, which is basically in a human-like conversation. You proceed and the result of it, you produce the materials. most important part, one of the most important parts is ethics and compliance, and Genie is ethical and compliant. By the way, one important part, all the images in the in the presentation for breaking slides are generated by Imagen 3. Just a side note. Okay. So we'll be talking a little bit about what we're doing from governance and risk management standpoint and ethics standpoint within Deloitte to ensure responsible use of Genie. Right? There are multiple activities that needs to be done to ensure that it's done in a proper way, like checking, assessing every output of Genie and conducting comprehensive end-to-end testing and fact checks on the responses, cross-references data with reliable and publicly accessible information, robust governance process in terms of populating the information within Genie database to ensure that it passes through appropriate levels of approval. It does not have any confidential data. It does not have any client data. It does not have any sensitive information or personal information within it. And that's basically how we establish trust in the solution and how we build them. I'll proceed to architecture. So the Genie built on a strong foundation of robust architecture, which we're using both proprietary solutions and open source. As you can see here, we're using dynamic LLM multi-choice, including GenAI, Llama, Hugging Face, GPT, JICE, Arabic LLM. So depending on use case, it's leveraging different large language models, and we are constantly working with all the available solutions with a focus with our partners or on Vertex and GenAI. So the way it works is a standard retrieval augmented generation architecture where we have a file storage that is updated by a specific workflow with right approvals in place from the management perspective. That further updates vector database according to right approvals in place, basically. That vector database acts as a source for retrieval or augmented generation workflow. When end user retrieves a query, he will be able to get the ranked results presented to him through the hybrid search, basically using vector search and your standard index metadata search, and combined results gives you a hybrid top 5 selections from which LLM generates its response. We're also using Llama index to enable our retrieval augmented generation engine. That's basically it in a nutshell. I'll do a quick demo. I'll need to open a different laptop, so allow me a little bit. Distraction. Meanwhile, to avoid awkward silence, please feel free to ask any inquiries to my colleagues while I'm doing this. So we've successfully identified. So what's Gene basically? As I mentioned, it's built on the multiple workflows. So it shows like your top 20 used the sample workflows by the employees, and you can quickly browse through that. And also you have workflows categories by type of activity, as workflow categories by service line and enabling function. So for example, if you're from legal department, this is how you navigate to your set of workflows on specific categories that you would like to search from, like for example, intellectual property management. Like you're tasked with creating a licensing agreement for intellectual property for a specific contract. So the way the workflow works, it gives you follow-up queries in order to establish a proper licensing agreement. So draft me, please. It's very important to be very polite to LLMs. You don't know what will happen in the future. Is the license agreement. So I want licensing agreement to basically to resell software for another company. So instead of drafting me agreement, it gives me immediately the key parties involved type of intellectual properties and provide asks for a follow-up. You can use also, as I mentioned, you can select and change between the models that are specifically prompted for this. So, and the way they interact would be also a different. So when you create, when you change it, you have a different types of responses. You can submit the data directly through the flow for a workflow of approval to populate it on retrieval augmented generation on a live basis. And you can continue with the follow-up inquiries to sort of address all the points that you'd like to have your licensing agreement done. I'm getting hurried up a bit, so I'm wrapping up with the demo. We would be happy to hear your inquiries and questions for us. Any questions? Feel free to raise your hand if any. If not, please feel free to approach us and the radio to ask anything. Thank you.